A very good day to you, my dear listeners and viewers from all over the world. I welcome you specially to this great episode on your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. Now, it is common knowledge that the number one responsibility of government, as prescribed by the Constitution, is to secure the life and property of every citizen of the country. This means that everything concerning the lives of citizens must take center stage. It must be given more priority than any other thing. Especially today in Nigeria, where insecurity has become our biggest problem as a nation. There is no corner of this country, including the FCT, that is spared from this spate of insecurity. Only few hours ago, news broke out that Nigerian military evacuated 37 corpses of villagers in Yobe State after a Boko Haram attack on the state. This is the same state that came under serious attack few days ago, where these same guys went to a school, brought out students and opened fire on them at night. They operated for a very long time undeterred. And this has been the case for many years. Now we know that the Nigerian army don't have a very good relationship with the citizens of this country, because many times the people have been bullied and even killed by the soldiers. But even the soldiers know that their profession needs to be reformed. And that was why they voted Peter Obi in all the army barracks and army locations in Nigeria. All the polling units in army locations, Peter Obi won. Meaning the soldiers and their families knew that they needed change. And few hours ago, two stories dropped concurrently, and it really stirred up Nigerians. News broke out that soldiers on the battlefield are being owed salaries, dividing their attention from the life-threatening tasks ahead of them. So you mean with all these monies being thrown around in this country that everybody can hear, soldiers can be owed salaries? And at the same time, news broke out that REMI Tinubu spent hundreds of millions of naira decorating a hall for an event. Before I show you details of that update and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this video. This video backs up an earlier claim that was contested. I talked about the percentage of physiotherapists who had left Nigeria in the last 3 years, and someone said I wasn't saying the truth. Please watch this video to confirm my position.
We cannot fail to acknowledge our challenges, which include the devastating effect of brain drain on our profession. More than 65% of physiotherapists produced in Nigeria practice abroad. In the last 3 years, over 2,000 physiotherapists left the shore of our country, with less than 4,000 physiotherapists left in the countries to manage over 200 million population of Nigeria. The development weakened us as a group in terms of training and reduced the number of experienced physiotherapists to serve our various establishments.
Are you a physiotherapist who believes that the only way to make it is to jabber? If your answer is yes, you must do what? Stop it, because forward we must move.
You heard that. That was a meeting of physiotherapists confirming that 65% of physiotherapists produced in Nigeria practice abroad. I said about 2,000 of them left in the last 3 years, and someone said it was an exaggeration. Now the association just confirmed that more than 2,000 physiotherapists left this country, jackpot out of this country in the last 3 years. You see, the problem with some of you is that you don't know the true state of the country. And when we come and point it out, you start trying to attack us. I'm not bothered by attacks, but I like to point out ignorance the way I have done here by putting up this video. If you know the number of medical doctors that have left Nigeria this year alone, fear go catch you. And it is because the system is collapsing. Nothing is working. It's not because they hate Nigeria. Just about an hour ago, Dangote announced that his petrol, that is petrol from his refinery, the Dangote refinery, is ready to be rolled out. But in all his announcements, he failed to say how much he was going to sell petrol per liter. which is the major thing people are waiting to hear. He failed to say that one because he knows that it is going to be very high. Now they are saying that NMPC will be the ones to determine the price for now. I've not heard anything like this before. How NMPC will be the ones to determine the price of petrol per liter from a private refinery, I still don't understand. But it is clear that they don't want to sell it cheap. That's why Dangote is dodging. If he announces the price, they will say he's exploiting Nigerians. So he wants to use NMPC so that they will say it was the organization that sat down and decided the price. That's why they've been making us buy for 1,200, between 1,200 to 2,000 naira for the past 3 months. So that if they now call it 900 naira or 850, Nigerians will embrace it and say, okay, after all, this one is cheaper and is available. We know all the games. So, in a nutshell, even with a local refinery, we still can't buy petrol cheap in Nigeria. And some of you are still having faith in governance. I don't know where you are getting this your faith from, that you come up to challenge the things that we say. But we won't stop. We will keep telling Nigerians that the only way to have their freedom is to come together and get the APC out of power. Now, let us look at that update from the Nigerian army and the update of hundreds of millions of naira spent in decorating halls by REMI Tinubu. Let us start by taking REMI Tinubu's expenditure on merely decorating halls for events. Look at how the papers reported it. Tinubu-led presidency spends 250 million naira on decorations for First Lady events. Others. No fewer than 5 payments within days were made for the decoration of state banquet halls, Sheraton Hall, and for decorations for the First Lady programs by the Bola Tinubu-led Nigerian government between March 15 and July 15, 2024. The payments summed up to a total of 250 million naira within those 5 days. All the payments were made to one organization, Rock of Ages Total Events. A review of the payments portal showed that on July 15, 2024, the State House paid 68.4 million in respect of decoration on Democracy Day. This payment was made to Rock of Ages Total Event Center. On the 5th of July, another sum of 19.9 million was paid for decoration of a 300-seater hall at the Sheraton Hall. On 24th of May 2024, the sum of 131.9 million was paid for full-scale decoration of State House events for First Lady programs for women, youth, and children. Another payment was recorded on 17th of May to the tune of 22.5 million for the decoration of the State House new banquet hall, breaking fast and fresh flowers in the C&C office for 3 days. On 15th of March, the government paid 7.5 million for the decoration of the State House banquet hall. There have been concerns on Nigeria's spate of expenditure, with calls for more prudence and accountability in management of the country's scarce resources. And Chinasa here says, the devil cometh to kill, to steal, and to destroy. That is it. And Olamilekon here says 250 million naira for hall decoration, money that will provide boreholes for 1,000 community. This is insane. And United Quarters here says, what becomes of the country in few years? That's a very big question. And Madi Shehu here says, that is how people get destroyed. And they begin to blame and accuse either the devil or the opposition, even mention Obi as their source of evil. That is it. After destroying everything, you turn around and start saying Peter Obi is the one making people hate you. And Esther Shefumi here raised a very big point. She said, official bat, we the coppers have not received our allowances since July, leaving us without funds for basic necessities. The promised increase in allowance to 77,000 naira has not been implemented, causing significant hardship. God have mercy on your children. So even core members are being owed. And this takes me to the next update, which is about the Nigerian military soldiers that are on the battlefront. Insecurity is the biggest problem of Nigeria right now. But look at what is happening to our soldiers that are facing these insurgents at the battlefront. Look at how the papers reported it. Nigerian army confirms delay in payment of August salaries by Tinubu government. begs troops for patience. The Nigerian army has confirmed that Tinubu-led government is yet to pay its personnel their August salaries and allowances. This was disclosed in a memo issued by the army authorities, which reporters obtained on Monday, while urging the soldiers to exercise patience, saying efforts were ongoing to ensure prompt payment of their entitlement. Delay in payment of salaries and bonuses of the Nigerian army is now a recurring event in Nigeria. In October 2022, some soldiers had lamented the delayed payment of their salaries and the non-increment of such for over 10 years that they had been in service. An army sergeant who spoke with reporters had also alleged that army authorities had impoverished the personnel in the lower cadre with no increment in their salaries for years, with some enduring about 12 years of stagnant pay. He had affirmed that the least personnel in the Nigerian army earns around 50,000 naira. Other soldiers had corroborated that their monthly salary was among lowest in the security personnel, stressing that to feed their families and their relatives was now a challenge. He said, honestly, we the junior ranks in the Nigerian army are dying in silence for over 12 to 13 years, no salary increment, and we are seriously working without any benefit from our superior officers. Things are not going well with us. Our salary is not even enough to pay for school fees plus feeding our families and relatives. I am a sergeant with 24 years in service and my salary is 81,500 naira, while police constable receives 84,000 naira monthly as salary. A private soldier is entitled to 50,000 naira as salary monthly. Even a warrant officer in the army gets 92,000 naira, while other colleagues in the Nigerian civil defense collect 96,000 naira monthly as salary. Honestly, I'm completely discouraged in the system, another soldier lamented. You heard that. Now, regardless of your tribe or religion, how do you feel as a Nigerian listening to this? How do you feel as a Nigerian listening to somebody who is supposed to protect you saying that he is discouraged by the system? And he's not just saying that because he's physically tired or anything. He's saying that because of the way he's being treated. And you have heard what I read, you have seen it. You have seen that these guys have every reason to be disappointed in the system because of how they are treated. It's not like we don't have the money. The monies are being thrown around on frivolities. So how do you feel as a Nigerian listening to this? Do you still feel that everything should be viewed through religious or tribal lenses? And look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. This tweet by Mr. Fowoshere says, they won't increase their salaries. They still won't pay them on time. But Tinubu does not get delays when he wants to buy private jets. That is it. The small salaries you are paying them, you still don't release the salaries on time. Who are the people in charge of all these things, for crying out loud? And Mazi here says, remember he bought himself a new jet. Anyway, I'll leave the soldiers. Explain that to their wives and hungry kids. How do you explain to your wives and hungry kids that you can't even get your basic salaries, your meager basic salary, when others are throwing money around? And you are the one that swore to lay your life down for the country. And this tweet here by Andy says, why would you even owe people with guns? Una they play with fire. Well, maybe they already know that the fire will never burn them. And DJ Spoiled Kid here says, can't pay soldiers suffering to keep the country warm, but can do everything to buy Biafra agitators. It don't make sense at all. That is it. It's confusing. Some people are saying they want the country to divide. You are going after them, hunting them down. But here are the soldiers who are helping to keep the country together. You are not still treating them well. Which one do you want to do? Take a stand. Antonia says, good for them. Once they wear that uniform, they will start parading like Deputy Jesus. Foolishness becomes their friend. Tonya here has no pity for the soldiers, but Okeke grossly disagreed with Tonya. He said, this is what you have to say to people risking their lives for us? This is discouraging, please. So, confusing opinions there. Tonya thinks they are misbehaving, but Okeke thinks She was wrong to have addressed soldiers like this. But a lot of people are highly disappointed in some of the things that they do. You know, the bullying and the killings of people. And this tweet here by El Yunis Ahmed says, meanwhile, 200 million plus was used to import an event center from Brazil and decorate it. Wow. King here says, yet you are spending 250 million on decorations and you can't pay soldiers. You can't pay corps members in this harsh economy. But you can throw billions around without thinking about it. Just 2 days ago, CBN Governor Yemi Cardoso and his 4 deputies spent over 10 billion naira on purchasing SUVs for themselves. And they increased all their travel allowances for both local and foreign trips. And you begin to wonder, so these guys will just sit down and increase their pay whenever they like. Because if you ask any Nigerian now, is the CBN doing well? Any Nigerian that is normal upstairs, everybody knows they are not doing well. Look at the depreciation of the Naira. Naira has hit another new low now. It is at, I think, 1,640 something as we speak. And before the end of this September, a lot of people are already looking at it hitting almost 1,800. So that is the good work that CBN has done, that they are now increasing their travel allowances and buying themselves SUVs. So Nigerian treasury is at their disposal. They do whatever they want with it. They just get into office and they begin to plunder the treasury. But do you blame them? I always tell you, I don't blame them. If you see treasury in front of you and you know that no matter how you plunder, nothing is going to happen, are you not going to go ahead and plunder? You go ahead, you plunder, you keep money for your children's children, and that is what they are doing. If the people are not satisfied with it, then it behoves them to rise up and say no. And that is why we keep encouraging the people that this is what you must do. Nigerians must be able to say no, enough is enough. We can't take this anymore. Look at the outrageous fuel queues everywhere. And NNPC is coming out to tell us now that we shouldn't even hope for this scarcity to end anytime soon. And they'll just come out, announce it, go back, and continue enjoying their lives because there are no consequences. And these are the same people that shut the country down when we had less than half of these problems under the Jonathan regime. Nigerians, use your tongue to count your teeth. We are not coming out of this until we rise up to save ourselves. Nigerians must get up and say enough is enough. We cannot continue to suffer like this in a country that belongs to all of us. And when we do that, we can easily take our country back. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because na because of una. Na I dey here, so don't go away. Don't go. Sorry,